It's the end of your senior year, and you're on to your next step of your life. You're almost done with high school, and you've done everything to get to this point. You have a 4.0, you've had such a big community base, and you've worked so hard, again, to get to this point. However, there's one big roadblock in your way, and it's called a standardized test. The standardized test will dictate as to whether or not you get in that dream college or you don't. Ignoring just about every single other thing you've done up to this point, all the tests you've taken in class, everything that teachers worked hard to give you, and you still have to take one more or two more standardized tests in order to get to that college of your dreams. As you can see here, there's two tests, as I was saying, that you have to take before you get to college, and that's the ACT and the SAT, the American College Testing, which tests things such as math, science, reading, and English, while the SAT teaches things like reading, writing, English, and slight math, but no science. And this right here is the STAR test, something that just about everybody has taken while in high school, middle school, in order to go on to the next grade. Again, you've been taking tests your whole year up until this point. A big question is, why do you need to take another one? Why do you have to take a test approved by the state, people who aren't even teachers, people who aren't even in the classroom, to give you a test to go on to the next grade? Shouldn't a 99 or even a B in your classes be proof enough that you should be able to go on to the next grade? But according to Texas government, the STAR test dictates readiness, as you can see in the title, for the next grade, which makes no sense since, again, you're taking tests, you're doing homework, and you're being taught year-round over certain subjects. And the ACT, the same thing. You've proven yourself in high school. Sure, college isn't as easy as high school, but the ACT is, your high school work should be viable enough in order to go into college. These are a few downsides to standardized testing. And according to Stanford University, a paper written by one of their professors shows, and after many tests, that stress negatively impacts how you take your test. A student can have an amazing intelligence quotient and be able to understand things like no other, but the day they get to that test, they freak out, they have anxiety, and what could be the most perfect and best test taker around fails and is unable to prove themselves simply because of standardized testings and the pressure that people are given. It creates a limited scope of learning and success, only measuring specific areas like reading, writing, and math. And this is according to the Oxford University, who, as somebody who has taken many of standardized tests, it's so narrow. It doesn't show somebody's skills for future careers, such as being a mechanic. Sure, some of this math and science is useful to things like that, but not everybody is school oriented. People have certain skills that schools, and more than anything, standardized testing does not highlight. And these are a few solutions that could possibly help with people who are struggling with standardized tests. For one thing, take them away. They don't help anybody. A student, again, has proven himself countless times. As you can see in this picture here, this teacher, obviously teachers work hard year-round to make sure that their students are getting the best education, while they have to also, they have to listen to how this test in the state is giving guidelines. Again, they're not teachers. They're giving tests to people who are in the classroom. And again, the people who are creating this test aren't in the classroom. And it's unfair to these teachers and students to be expected to take tests that hardly involve them. They're just tests that I'm speechless. I don't know what else to say. Okay, sorry. Another thing is various routes prior to college that appeal to an individual student's interest. Again, in high school, have specific classes for people who might not be school-oriented, but still have the ability to learn. Some of the best skills you can learn are life skills, and from someone who's been in high school and even in college, there's just not enough classes for that. For people who need to learn, maybe even learn how to learn. People struggle with that, and again, just like I said before, it's so linear, it's so boxy. It doesn't need to be that way. And if tests don't go away, make test taking less of an ordeal. There's so much pressure, there's so much stress placed on, first of all, the teachers. So when the teachers are stressed, the students are going to be stressed, because whenever the teachers' jobs are on the line for these tests, of course the teacher is going to stress it like no other, making the students stress. So, hopefully from this, and noticing my lack of interest in, I guess you could say, a standardized testing, I hope watching this, you'll understand the negativity, that there is much less positivity coming from this. And there have been various tests, again, by the Stanford University, that these tests have proven useless. They're just not useful in any way, and have a more negative impact than they do a positive one.